Wait, good one. I forgot to start this. Nice. I forgot to start the timer. Wait, what did I open? No, shut up, you, Bio. I don't have time to watch you. I need to do it. I don't remember to do it. So, pop out this. Let me take it out of here to. Let me see. This is 175. Yeah. So, here we are. And what else I might be forgetting? I don't think that much more, right? Yeah. Besides this. Yeah. Okay. I have we have preparation time, so this is going to be amazing. This is the advantage of starting incredibly early compared to the time that I say I'm going to start in reality, which I didn't follow today. But regardless, uh, properties. Before. Okay, we have this. Oh my man. Hello. Wait. Merle, which time is it? What? Merle, hello, but what? Let me. What? Yeah, worried. What time is it? What? It is like 3 a.m., my brother. Yeah. I hope you're doing well. I hope. I, if you're studying, and you're studying for exams also. So yeah, I hope you can you can perform well. I had also been getting ready for them in my own time also. And they are certainly complex, but well, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you can learn as much as possible. Um, but yeah, yeah. So far everything has been great. I think so. It has been pretty much a nice advancement and pretty good. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't want to really hold you here. But oh yeah. If you are if you are free, we can organize it. But first, please do your exams. I wouldn't want you to get distracted, bro. I don't know if you have what is called promotion on your classes and such, but if you can aim for that, it will make your life easier, man. But yeah. When you're back, uh, we can fully organize it. But yeah, nice to see that you are applying to yourself to the study. Oh yeah. You're going for promotion then? Yeah. I can see it. After all, I mean, if you have a, if you pay attention to the whole system, it ends up being a lot more worthier to directly go for a promotion than to just, let's say, try to simply, what is it? Regularize the classes, something like that. But yeah, it will be worth it after all. I hope so. I I will say, just in case, remember to stay hydrated. Remember to take some breaks. Yeah. And that also, have a nice one, man. Thank you. But please, have a good mind however you are going to perform. You can do it. We believe, I will say. Also, what's the ping? Discord ping? What? What's up? Discord. Okay. Yeah. Discord. I started 5 minutes earlier, and those 5 minutes are already gone because I didn't do anything else. I am amazing. Oh man. Let me. here. I mean, I haven't really paid any attention if it's going to be worth it to always trying to copy paste the same part when I make a post or not. I don't really think about it so much. But yeah, what's up, browser? Why are you almost crashing every single time? What's up? What's up? Are we working? Yeah? Okay. Uh, did I did anything crash? Let me see. Okay. No. Nice. So here's take a yeah, I I think I have to I I have to speak in a range like this one to not hurt my throat so much, but that is going to be hard, I believe. And also this I don't like to speak so weird. Why do I have so many problems? Anyways, besides this, I can also do what's up? Okay, there it is. And now send. Great. So after this, I can also go to here. Very well. I didn't say it here. Did I say it? Did I not say it? Yeah, I say it. That I don't. So I need to start thinking about what I am going to do with my life there. Like, well, I guess I will have to study still, probably. That is going to be fun because I love studying. Wow, I say from the deepest part of myself. And also, wait, why is audio weird? What's going on with this? Why are you so loud? Microphone? What's up with that? Hello? I I th- I, I think the problem is my voice. My voice. This is going to be a nice stream. I perceive. I I foresee. Fuck. So I really thought I can do this later. 4 minutes, approximately. So, besides that, what else do I have to do? Ah, yeah. Schedule. Schedule some tools. Don't tell anyone, but I can schedule. Wow. Tutorial. Let's go. I have a switch. Xbox. Well, let me see what did I really say in the schedule. There. Hey. Okay. I think I saw it. Okay, nice, nice. Uh, so, which day is this? Let me see. This is for. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. Let's go. Okay, it's one. How much more time do we have? Okay. I think I can do like two more, I guess. I don't really I don't really have my hopes that high, but at the same time let me say I don't remember what I wanted to say, so I have to come up with new stuff. That's the problem. Uh, okay, over that, no, so again, this one is. I think my throat is going to fucking die. That is right. Like I recognize it. I I'm going to be in pain. This was probably the most clever idea I had in some time. No, please don't fail me. And dear throat, you do to work for me. Proceed to anything. I will do such a main task. Say, what else? What else? We go to one more. Yeah, what? I can make one more. Let me. I think I. Okay, but let's see. There it is. With that, I am done. Let me close thing. So, yeah, I think it is spectacular how much there is this. Hello, hello, people. Here we are. I, I wanted to say, yeah, I think how spectacular it is to see that literally it finishes as at every single like 2.5 minutes or so. I think there are like 1 or 2 more seconds on the song itself, probably something like that. So it ends up being quite nice to see that always we get to finish this whole section. Yeah, the starting soon part uh, in time with the song kind of fitting perfectly well. And also, besides that, I want to do a new background image or something like that, or a second one probably. And wait, because I'm annoyed by this. Why is this so quiet? Hello? Is this better? Can I can I can I believe that this is better? Is this still incredibly quiet? How are we doing? Microphone? What's your problem? Why are you not working? Anyways, moving on. Hello, people. It has been quite a long time since the last occasion, and it has been quite a good time since the last occasion, besides some tiny errors, like, for example, um, when was it? I think it was on Monday. I somehow fucked up my throat drink. I can't, I can't laugh. Anyways, sorry. I, I fucked up my throat by drinking too, yeah, water that was too hot for me. So now I have to deal with the consequences of my own actions in the form of not being capable of speaking normally. And that is weird because you never notice how much you use your voice throughout the day. Unless you have now to speak. And now you feel like dying because the first 2 days I had an incredibly big problem. And that was whenever I had to speak, I literally felt the skin almost ripping itself. And that was quite horrible. But, anyways, continuing. Sorry. Um, sorry. I wanted to say also, boys, come back here. Uh, uh, this is going to be a pain, right? Yeah, this is going to be the antics of today. That my voice is funky. So yeah, let me add that here just in case. There it is. Let me say it like that because that is funny. But yeah, anyways, as I wanted to say, for real, sorry. Hello. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope it we can have today a good time. And yeah, I wanted to continue a little bit with reading and such, continuing on the Mahabharata and similar. I think we can pretty much find out a little bit of worth it information. It might be nice what we might see there. I don't really get to know exactly now, but we'll have to hope. And besides that, as always, sorry, hello, welcome viewers, welcome lurkers, welcome dear bot watchers. I I guess certainly this is going to be a problem because I am speaking so quietly that um it yeah it isn't really that loud compared to what I normally used to speak at. Like, this is seeing the levels. I think it is like 10%, 20% quieter than normal. But anyways, I wanted. I am sorry, but I wanted to stream. I have some desires to stream. I believe. I. It feels nice to be here, and it feels pretty good to do it. So I wanted to do it. I had obviously to take 1 or 2 days off. I couldn't push myself to speak that much. Yesterday, nor the day before yesterday, but it was it was nice still, and it has been pretty funny. I think I was thinking about it, and I never really noticed how much enjoyment you can see in life itself. Also, hello Sarah. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going fine. And I know it is quite late, so I hope you're taking care of yourself. Also, um, but yeah, welcome. Here we are. We I was saying that I was thinking, and I didn't really realize how much enjoyment you can have on life itself. I think sometimes, at least in my case, I will say, it gets too much in my head. The idea that you can simply have good times and you don't get to realize how many of those good times you can have throughout every single day. Like, there is no real limit of enjoyment that you can experience in a day. There are no barriers when it comes to finding what you like and what you are capable of enjoying in life itself. And it becomes rather amazing to discover how many pleasurable things there are that you can, I wouldn't say indulge, I would simply say use your time in. And I believe it is worth it. I believe it has become even more of a thing that has meaning, I guess. I I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that much. In all honesty, I don't really stop and observe every single thing that happens to me. I think that is a pretty unconscious process that happens. That you say you are somewhat aware of all the things that happen to you, but in reality, we have a truly hard time measuring or picturing even sometimes all of the different enjoyments that we go through. And it gets quite nice, I feel like, to be part of all of those things and to be yet again in a zone or in a place in which you can measure all of those pleasurable things that you had as what they really are. Once again, good times. And I don't know, I think it is quite crazy to see that you can always have them and you can always go through them. And I I was thinking about it, not that hardly, but I can really say you you get to find all of those things that give life itself quite a pleasurable flavor. And because it is so flavorful, I think it can be quite quite enjoyable, right? But the problem is sometimes I think we have a tendency over, pardon me if I repeat it, we have a tendency over oversizing the problems that we go through and believing that they are more incapacitating than what they really are. Because I don't. Hmm, what could be a real reason for that? I guess if I had to give a proper reason, I will say something along the lines of we we believe that life can't be all that good, and that when bad things happen to us, even worse things are going to keep happening to us, in a sense of we enter in a state of alert in which we perceive that if something went wrong, something else might also probably start to go wrong, or might be in the process already of going wrong, let's say. And the problem isn't that you can't ignore those things. The problem is the threats might be real, but the size itself of the threats might not be that big. And because I believe it like this, because we believe we are so unique in our own lives, and because we believe that we go through so few instances of normal occurrences for everybody, we end up now having this weird notion or something like that about how what is going to happen to us in particular is going to be worse than what happened to everybody else. And I wouldn't say, certainly, that anybody is condemned to suffer such a thing, or that it is an unavoidable reality, sorry. It is more like just a problem that once you see yourself also being part of, you can realize maybe i- in this case it is weird to say, but maybe the solution was I am not that special. So I can see why if something is going wrong, I don't have to over worry. Because after all, I am not that different and the problems that happen to somebody else might probably not be that different compared to mine. So then, I can now observe and probably even realize that what is going to happen to me too is going to be completely average on the, yeah, on the most logical sense. And not because I am in some way incapable of suffering even more than the average person, or I guess to a certain extent it also comes down to not beating yourself up so much. It, it might be sometimes we certainly believe that we deserve to suffer even more. Therefore, the different negative things that we picture in our head serve as a narrative of, well, if I had to go through bad things, maybe I deserve to suffer more. And maybe if something bad is happening to me, the reality is they are not that normal, and they are not that average, and they are not even close to being that regular. Because after all, what I deserve is yet again to go through the worst of the sufferings. Because in one or another type of condition, I see myself as somebody deserving of such punishment. So, by accepting also that what you are doing is more so related to the nature itself of your discontent. Yeah, I think another word that might be also used in this context might be a little bit much, but I believe discontent might be the discontent that you hold towards yourself might be a little bit too much, and you don't really deserve to suffer so much, and you don't really deserve to see yourself doing so badly, because after all, once again, we are all the same in almost every single sense. So there is no need for you to say, well, what is going to happen to me is only the most logical thing, and I have to go through the worst of the pains, or something like that. It is. I think the example itself is kind of understandable, I guess, I hope. So, yeah, that's basically the idea. It isn't that necessary for anybody to see themselves as such bad actors, nor you need to overgrow the problems that do arise in your life, because after all, that is also part of this whole process. You're also average in that sense. You're not going to be capable of avoiding problems. What you might avoid, I think so, is the overall discomfort born from going through those problems. But the reality is, you are in no way whatsoever forced to make what is already tormenting you even bigger for the sake of. I I don't even have a good excuse. I believe something like, for the sake of punishing yourself even more, probably something like that. But yeah, I guess to that extent, I am sadly not that much of a of a hater on myself, so that I will know which excuse will somebody choose to justify seeing things as more negative than what they are in in average. But I don't know. I don't know. I I believe it can be quite hard, yeah. And the problem is, now that I am standing here, I don't really get to see how far I was and how much I have really changed in that sense. But at the very least, I I can say confidently that it is possible to change and that it is possible to establish some sense of advancement towards all of those problems that do arise. But yet again, I don't know. I guess sometimes we, if I got to say something, I will guess sometimes we simply want to beat someone, and because we don't have the possibility of hurting others, because we kind of understand the damages and the problems that might arise from doing so, what we end up doing is we simply choose to beat up who we have closer to us, in this case, ourselves. And by doing so, it is that we don't realize how much of a damaging thing it might be, the amount of bad things that we do to ourselves. I guess, but I don't know. I don't know. I I haven't really found a proper explanation for it. I believe, but yeah. Also, have a good night, Savannah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good night. But yeah, I don't know. I I guess all of this ends up being quite crazy. And once you can observe and become aware of all of those problems, and even more, take, I don't know if it is simply accountability or if it is more like the capacity of accepting which problems affect you, something like that. If you take them properly in your hands, you can stop being so aggressive against yourself. I believe so, but I don't know. Yeah, what I am mentioning here is but just another concept that I was quite thinking about. I haven't truly found um, a solution in my mind. I am simply exploring that idea as I am. I guess, yeah. Eh, one of the few advantages of not having streamed in such a long time is my mind is completely filled with stuff. So yeah, I can at the very least say that confidently that I have a lot of things I have been developing in the meanwhile. I guess, but I don't know. I feel like still sometimes it it gets complicated to properly analyze any of those um, ideas. I I reckon. So yeah. Anyways, besides that, moving on onto something different. I hmm, okay. Let's do the typical thing. This, let me drink water, and after that, I am going into something different. Also, I want to drink water because I feel a little bit raw my throat, so I want to see how it feels. If I will have the capacity of drink water throughout the night, or if I am going to, as they would say, fucking die. Um, but yeah, let me. Yeah, we have the bottle, which is a little bit cold, and now time to discover the truth. Like, it hurts a little bit, but it is only when it's going down like the deepest part. I guess, yeah, probably in my vocal cords. This is amazing. How did I fucking? Anyways, yeah. Let me drink water for real now. Um, this is bad. This is bad. This is incredibly bad. But anyways, let me continue now. So I was on the vibe of I believe I was thinking about this, and I believe we we have been doing a lot of the fuck was that sound? What the fuck was that? Anyways, uh, I believe we have been doing a lot of advances and we have been learning a lot of things in terms of society overall, not just what is ourselves. And I have quite observed that this was something that I even talked with a friend, and I wanted to bring up what I forgot last time. Um, it is good how much we are advancing with technology and how much we are progressing throughout almost everything. But the real problem is we are still pretty much behind in terms of notions and concepts regarding not just mental but overall health. It is weird to see how many people we have that live in different unhealthy conditions, and something that is very I will accept heartbreaking is to see even how you end up observing sometimes how even those who have so many resources on their lives so that it isn't an excuse that they are exactly, let's say, living in poverty or anything of that sort, um, are still suffering the consequences of an educational system that didn't give you the knowledge or the proper knowledge so that you could understand why the things that you need to do are important because they are going to affect you for the rest of your life. And because of those things, it ends up being quite bad or quite sad at the very least for me, as I was saying, that we end up dealing a lot of times with problems that could have been solved if we took. I don't know if it is simply matters in our own hands. I'm more. Yeah, I have become more of a believer of if we changed everything in a way in which it was warned, let's say, since day one, that I don't know, something very basic like you should have a proper diet. You shouldn't you shouldn't just eat garbage food, let's say, for example. You should try your best to stray. Yeah, to stay hydrated. You should try your best to get enough rest. You should always do this and that. And once I can go back to it is not because simply we want to rule you and we want to have power over you. No, 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 no. We are all humans, so there are conditions that are necessary for every single one of us. And one of them, for example, in this case, is okay, you want to you want to live a healthy life. You need to have a balanced diet in which you consume enough of X and Y, and you can't slack off even for a week sometimes because the consequences of your actions are going to impact you from here on maybe the next 20 years. And if you were to believe that something like that is not true, we are sorry, but the message that we're trying to give you is completely real. Now, your interpretation of reality. In these cases, now that we have established all of the information and also probably, I guess, showing all of these people where is it that the things that we are trying to talk about come from, when we have done all of that, we can also say, then, if you really decide to ignore any of this, I am sorry, I love you. We tried our best at helping you, but you have directly shown no interest of progressing in any way whatsoever. And as much as we would like to, we know that there is people out there who's willing to try their best at heal and who is capable enough also of paying attention and paying heed to what we are trying to say in these times. So, once again, you can choose to continue neglecting reality, or you can somehow simply, let's say, conceive this as what it is and move on. I don't know. I don't know. I once again, yeah. I don't really get to believe that it is that complicated. To, yeah, I don't know. I think the problem is we lack the proper view on this, and we also don't have that much time to. I believe once again we don't have that much time to progress in all of these situations. I guess we have too many concerns that the real problem is setting vision straight on which one of them all we want to we want to go with and we want to solve. You know? But I don't know. Once again, I recognize we we are we are working and we are moving moving towards somewhere, and we are at the very least um, getting to progress with other problems that might also be problematic on their own. I believe so. And even if we are not fully capable of right now, fully capable of go and solve every other problem, if we are not capable of that, at the very least, at minimum, once again, um, we can deal with what is our own life. I, once again, I believe, I don't really know. I, I had been, I had been wishing all of this could be a little bit easier or something like that. I, I don't really, I don't really know. But well, anyways, moving on into somewhere else. I guess because at this point I have really reached a point in which I I don't really get to observe any any solution so far. So yeah, I guess I have so far hit the wall in this one idea. So, anyways, into something different, into something more worth it. Yes. Um, I was I was quite deep in thoughts once again, and I was okay. This will take a while. I had been lately, or not so lately. I had been since almost 2 months already. I think so. Um, using a bike and learning how to use it and all of that. And I have quite. learned how good it can be to do such a type of exercise. Uh, that is the start of this, because it also gives you, once again, what I mentioned at an earlier stage. I remember you have spaces in which now you can think more clearly, because the physical self is engaged in an activity which doesn't really require all of your attention, and you can sometimes notice and fully, let's say, become part of what truly enjoys. Yeah, part of what truly enjoys and what truly gets to have all of the confidence that is on not having to worry about your physical self, let's say, as much as you're doing, or as long as you're doing something safe, let's say. And because of this, it ends up opening the possibility for the mind to drive itself towards the spaces in which now you can be more open to whatever opportunity and desire also that you possess over structuring and even more analyzing all of those things that make you be who you are. And I don't really get to decide this or how it works, but I am pretty sure, more often than not, if you realize physical activity, what is going to happen to you is certainly you will get to be part or find yourself in places of not just enjoyment and not just nice times, let's say. You even end up using and having a side of yourself that gets more in connection with what you are really thinking than the average you, because I I am still processing this one. I heard it very, I mean, not very recently, as in, wow, some days ago. No, 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 no. I think it was like, how much? 20, 30 minutes before starting the stream that it was expressed to me in a way in which I can now believe I fully understand. We have a tendency towards living life without paying attention to life itself and to the life that we live. So the problem is not how we live life, but rather that we take it all as granted and that we tend to go through life in a very automatic manner. And because of that, then it is that happens that we end up seeing and we end up believing that all of the things that happen to us are less in our hands. So, when we get those chances at observing and becoming in contact with what is this level of observation of our own life, mo- more than anything else, it is that we end up gaining the chance of loving and also I guess, yeah, fully experiencing the emotions associated with all of the things that do arise inside of us when we think about such things. Because I see as a possibility that in quite a lot of times it is possible for anybody to hold their memories, or not their memories, hold their emotions and hold them back so that you don't have to recognize how you feel about something. But the reality itself is, if you want to really deal with the problems that happen to you, and if you want to really get rid of all of the negative things that happen to you will have to come in contact with those emotions. And until you don't, you're only going to have like half of the experience itself. Because the reality is always what you're going to earn, what you're going to obtain from doing so is not, yeah, not so simple and not so easy to digest. Sometimes I believe so, but this comes more than anything else from the side of we we don't really deal with all of the different emotions that once again do arise inside of us. So it ends up being a problem that we might feel certain things related to anything and not realize that they are there until we are confronting them. So the act itself of accepting that you feel something towards any situation might lead you to the realization also of how all of these things end up being highly connected with one another while also having all their own space inside of you. And now, if you recognize this and you possess the capacity of accepting it as what it ends up being, let's say, the overall useful skill that is fully having your hands once again the chance to, oh, not just observe, but to digest everything that is your own self. When you allow something like that to happen, it is that you end up by simple, um, yeah, by pure results of your actions, you end up unavoidably finding yourself, let's say, blessed with the opportunity of enjoying now, really knowing what is your own self. Because I mean, I have heard quite a lot of times I don't really know who I am. And I have, at this point in time, I believe that I have found a solution. I don't really yet to decide if it works like that, or even less, obviously, if anything of that sort is true and makes sense. The reality is, everybody wishes to, yeah, everybody wishes to believe that they hold the truth in this, but the reality itself is not not always. So I guess it is simply something to observe yet again. And the conclusions that you can read by doing something of this sort, in this case, engaging in physical activity so that you can activate inside of yourself the instruments hidden inside of learning about life and getting to enjoy all of the different good things that life has to offer for you, and also kind of obviously to let yourself participate in all of those things that can indicate to you even more what you believe is life. When all of those things come together, what happens to you unavoidably is in your hands falls the surprising capacity of observing how you can overcome any other problem that you had by simply continuing with your efforts and enjoying what was given to you before. So I don't really know. I have been. Hmm, I guess I started with simply saying, yeah, you can quite enjoy doing some silly stuff. The reality is now, after saying all of what I said, I I don't really I don't really know. I believe the reality might be that maybe you you can have an even better time if you were to accept all of the things related to, in this case, trying your best and trying also, quite obviously, all of, I don't know if all, but at the very least, as much as you can, related to experiencing and having in your hands a good time when it comes once again to the act itself of enjoying and gaining the recognition, the enjoyment, and the awards that do come with learning and immersing yourself in all of those good things that you always wanted. But I don't know. Okay. Let's say like this. Sometimes the problem is also you don't even know which things you might want because, to a certain extent, in the world it tends to happen that we create situations in which the human doesn't get to experience all of the things that are out there because of fear or because of, yeah, it doesn't really need to have an excuse. It just happens so that you avoid really getting to learn and getting to have all of those good moments which will provide to you yet again the enjoyment that you have been looking for. But yeah, it gets quite hard to find a proper solution. I believe so. And if if I had to say something, probably I always say this. I At this point I believe it is almost like filler in these cases for me to say you can see the worthiness of everything when you start to explore these problems and their realities. You can really see it if you explore it openly. But you need to accept that you need to spend your time in trying to search for what might be worth it. And the problem is, sometimes we're not really that much willing to spend our time on anything. So that is when it becomes a problem, yet again, for us. But I don't know. I don't know. I wish it wasn't so hectic sometimes, life, I guess. And yeah, I I am feeling like my throat is dying at this point, so let me drink some water. So I can try to adjust this. Okay, let me see. Because I think I can do something like this. Um, I think I can do something like this because throat is giving up at this point. I just noticed when I drank the water, it hurts a lot, and I really want to stay. I'm sorry, but I want to. I can't hold myself back in this case. But let me see, because maybe if I do this. Um, what is this? This over here. So microphone. Let's see if I whisper. It is around 25. So to get it to 15, it should be like plus 6. Let's see. If I have it like that, can it work? Or do I need to have it a little bit higher? Can it can't work like that, right? It's it won't work like that, I guess. Let me increase this a little bit more. Yes, something like something like this. Can it work like this? No, we're at plus 10. You have to be working now, man. I need to hear this, but at this point it should work now. right? Yeah, I need to be quite close. So that is one thing. And also, I can not exert my voice that much. But yeah, that is the main point. Here I'm sorry, but I want to, I want to talk. I, I need somewhere to communicate my ideas. I probably what will be useful in these times is something like a diary or something like that. I guess I never really had a tendency towards anything of that sort, but the reality is I never really tended to keep any kind of list when it comes to normal life. So it is quite weird for me to now finally accept that I might have a better time with managing what are all of these ideas if I kept certainly a place in which I brought down whatever is it that I was thinking about. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess again I will have to see. Uh, yeah. So far, it seems to be working like this. Um, we will have to see in like I don't know half an hour or so how it feels because I can feel that I very much somehow hurt my fucking throat by simply speaking too much before. And yeah, that's quite a problem. I didn't really expect that to happen. I guess I I certainly messed up. I never expected that to happen, man. I did fuck up. I guess, but anyways, it is quite normal for everyone to sometimes commit one or two sleeps when it comes to these things. So yeah, uh, I guess I will have to say it because yeah, I don't want anybody like what the fuck? Why is this guy whispering? What the fuck is going on? Let me. Which one is? Ah, something like this. Yeah, Pain. Thank you so much. Uh, until the end of the stream, my brother. Thank you. So yeah. Anyways, here we are. It seems over here is quite the correct place for the volume. Ah, wait. I needed to check because I'm pretty sure at this point the what is it? The PC fan should be very yeah very much picked up by the microphone, I guess. So let me see. I hope it isn't that bad. Um, it is quite bad. It is not that horrible at the same time somehow. But yeah, we had problems and we dealt with them. And we will see. We will see how it comes, how it goes after here. Also, wait, what the fuck is going on? Why I am back to the old. What? What's happened, Bill? Why are you fucking trolling me? No, for real. I noticed out of nowhere that something was weird. But here we are. Anyways, um, on to something else. Because I was thinking about this before. And I wanted to say it. I believe we are going to have a new model. I wouldn't say soon. I haven't really used all all of my time on anything else besides studying lately, and that had been quite crazy. I I didn't expect to be so immersed in school, but I guess at the same time, it is pretty understandable for anybody to be so deep into these things or into these matters when you get to enjoy so much of dealing and so much of everything that is minimally even related to what you by default already like. So yeah, I don't know. I have been pretty much amazed by the different learnings that I found out with the simple process of once again learning on the simple process of trying my best in these cases to just learn. But I guess I have been trying to always I so far I can I can say that it gets to be nice to do what's yeah I kind of described it before. So you have the possibility of enjoying and using all of that time on what you wanted. Because overall, life isn't just about having a good time, but it also is about doing what you notice is worth it. Sometimes doing what is worth it can be not so enjoyable if you haven't given yourself the chance of finding something that falls under both of those categories. But when you wait enough, give yourself the chance of doing it for long enough periods of time, that is when you can see and realize how much of an enjoyment you can have on all of those things, as in enjoy life itself. In this case, I guess it is pretty obvious that I am talking about none other than me. I can, I can, I don't want to be so cold, but I really get, yeah, I can't really get how some people decide to go for things that they don't enjoy in life. Oh, but the problem is, not always gets one to decide what they want to, and not always one gets to do the things that they like the most. And in these cases, even if it is not so easy and not so comprehensible, what you obtain the most is the enjoyment of recognizing what you wanted and what once again you had a desire. But I don't know. I guess I guess it all is nice. And I guess it all is good when you get to the point of enjoying those things. And when to the point of earning for yourself out of the worthy things. Also, I think we can try like if somebody comes and says, "What the fuck are you doing?" Uh, I I am I am unapologetically myself, so let me change category. You know why? Because I'm not capable of it anymore. Just talking. So this is already whispering. Whispering to a certain extent is a trigger. And a trigger to a certain extent is ASMR content. So let's see what happens. Let's try this. what if we try this? What will happen if we try this? I believe. Um, but yeah, I, I have to recognize. I going back to it. I guess yeah, I did a bad one. So I destroyed it so much by simply speaking quite. Not speaking. I wish it was done by speaking too much. I I never really get to speak that much anywhere, so it ends up being crazy to see that. Once again, I in these last 2 days somehow I literally just speaked like too much, like two, three, 3 days. I have barely used my voice, and I have barely speak to anyone, and all of these things I wanted to gain, and I wanted to prove that I could keep myself safe to a certain extent. And the reality was, I never expected to just, like we're doing here, see that where I speak the most is just here. Everywhere else, I don't really speak, and I don't really talk, and I'm not really active. So it is weird. It is really weird, at the very least for me. Sometimes I believe people doesn't really notice how much they speak, but I think I always had the notion inside of me, since I was pretty young, I guess, about how much I did or did not talk, and in these cases, it got been quite hexing, I accept, to realize that probably throughout these 2 last days, I barely had the chance to speak with anyone. And that's weird. I I don't speak because nobody um, is close to me, rather. I believe it is pretty obvious for people when you have a bad throat that they shouldn't try to speak to you. And that notion is quite amazing because I never really even accepted that I had a problem with my throat. I mean, I am even here today, quite pushing myself a little bit, just because I wanted to scream. I wanted to talk, and I wanted to continue doing all this. I didn't want to be back, and I didn't want to continue in silence. It had it. I remember I told this already to somebody else, but I am pretty sure not here. One of the few contaminations that I have to go through is sometimes I think too much, and I have no way to express all of those things properly almost anywhere else. Because even if I were to type them, my hands are not that capable of following what goes through my head. And the best way is always for me to speak. But I don't really have an excuse to do so. And I I don't have really any other place in which I feel confident of overwhelming people with the amount of information that I can drop on them like we do here. Because the reality is, if I were to force anybody to hear me, and if I were to force anybody to try and endure what I am talking about, I, I, I feel at the very least, yeah, I reckon sometimes it wouldn't be that enjoyable. Sometimes it will be very painful for everyone involved in having to endure whatever it is that I decide to talk about for 2 hours, 3 hours on end. And here, I don't have to worry about that. It is quite a pleasurable thing. I realized that I can talk about whatever. I can go for as long as I want. I can only, and I can completely focus only what I like. And that's where it gets fun. Because the reality is sometimes I do have to talk about stuff that doesn't really pique my interest with other people. And I have been trying my best to overcome that problem. I have found quite a long time ago the justification for that, and that is if you really want people to a little bit better, what you should try to do is always to bring them to a conversation in which almost anything is present. Because once you let them set their basic boundaries, once you let them observe that you are minimally capable of interacting with you, that is when you have them there, or one of the most precious gifts. That is the overall amazing gift of learning that what you can share, what you possess, is worth trading with their time. So, by having very basic conversations, you give others the chance of learning and give others the chance of understanding who you are and properly bracing you their own judgments so that later on, if they wanted to have any, now for real, deep conversation, they will already understand why you are a good choice over anybody else. But if you don't let that happen naturally, what is going to happen is sadly all of the problems that appear throughout your life, the problems that relate to your capacity of socializing, will be mostly related to, and that is the saddest part, literally self. There is nothing else to really blame here. And I don't know. I don't think it is that necessary for anyone to hold themselves so negatively, but at the same time, it is quite unavoidable that you realize these things and do your best to just accept them. And I, I have been always trying my best to be, eh, or at the very least, what I already know, a minimal part of this as comprehensible. And even if it doesn't get to be that observable by anybody, it gets at least to be figured out for my further comprehension of them, I believe. But yeah, um, I guess after so much talking, we can finally start with the book. I feel like, or well, reality is, I even if I'm not forcing my throat that much, I need to drink something. So give me a second because I want to have some water. I Yeah, the problem in reality is I want to keep myself hydrated more than anything else. So give me a second. Okay, you know what? We're going to do one more hour because the reality is my throat hurts just from breathing. And that is already a problem, which I don't want to deal with even further on later on. So yeah, um, let's go just for 1 hour if that is okay with everybody. Because I don't want to lose my voice for longer. I guess we'll have to see, but probably tomorrow we'll have still no voice or something very similar. We will see how it goes. But yeah, let me give me a second so that I can go over here. Uh, so There it is also what the fuck? Shut up. Uh, I got scared. Nice. My bad. I got scared. I got incredibly scared. Let me hide that so that it doesn't happen again. Until I willingly activate that. Give me a second. So yeah, we were we left on Canto 108. Tirtha Yatra Parva continued. We were so far we had been reading the Mahabharata as always. We we observed last time. I think it was about the people cleansing their the Pandavas were cleansing their sins from themselves by going to the different tirthas present in the world. By doing so, it is that they got in one of them to hear about a story in particular that interested Elliot Histira, I think it was. And yeah, now we are simply seeing what's up with this one. Uh, let me let me continue. I don't really remember that much more to add. So let me just continue, please. Oh man, it I didn't really expect it to hurt out of nowhere like that. What's going on with my throat, man? I didn't really fuck it up that bad. But sorry. Canto 108. Tirta y Atraparvo continued. Lomasa says, Bhagirath of the mighty bow, Maharata, lord of all he surveyed, became the delight of the eyes and the soul of the world. He, the Mahabahu, learned how his ancestors had met on awful land from Kapila and how they had been unable to attain the realms of the gods. With a sorrowful heart, he made over his kingly duties to his minister, and, O Lord of Men, he went to the Himalayas, mountains of snow, to sit in Tapasya, and, by leading the most austere life, to gain the favor of the Devi Ganga. He saw Himabana adorned with peaks of diverse forms, full of bright minerals, strewn on all sides with raindrops from clouds resting upon the breeze, beautiful with rivers and groves and rocky spurs, looking like so many palaces in a city, attended upon by lions, tigers that had hidden themselves in its caves, and also inhabited by bears of myriad species, uttering diverse sounds, Bringarajas and ganders and adyuhas and watercocks and peacocks and birds with 100 feathers and kiwankee and blackbirds and chegoras with black cornered eyes and the goyals that love their young. He saw the mountain abounding lotus plants that grew in enchanted lakes and grouchers, cranes, rendered it charming with their sounds, and kinaras and apsaras sat upon its stone slabs, and the yajas, the elephants of the cardinal points, had marked the trees growing there with their tusks, and Midyadharas frequented the mountain, which was replete with treasures of jewels, as it was infested by serpents with glowing dogs and virulent venom. Places the mountain seemed to be made of gold, while in others it was silver, and yet other peaks were like massives of coal. So was the snowy mountain where the king now found himself. There, that best of men sat in a fierce tapasya. For 1,000 years he sustained himself just water, fruit, and roots. When 1,000 years of the Devas passed, the great Devi, the divine river Ganga, manifested herself before him, embodied and shimmering. Ganga said, Great king, what do you want from me? What boon? must I bestow upon you? I will do what you ask. Bhagirath replied to Himalaya's daughter, Grantress of Boons. O great river, when my father's fathers went in search of their sire's sacrificial river. What? Sorry. When my father's fathers went in search of their sire's sacrificial horse, Kabila sent them to the land of Yama. In an instant, those 60,000 perished. Since then, there has been no place for them in Swarga. Oh, great river, as long as you do not wet their ashes with your water, they will not find moksha. Blessed Devi, I beg you, redeem my ancestors, Sagara's sons, lead them into heaven. I am here to beg you to save their souls. Ganga, the goddess whom the worlds worship, was pleased to hear what Bhagirath said, and she said to him, Great king, I am prepared to do what you ask, but when I descend from the sky to the earth, the force of my fall will be impossible to bear. Protector of men in the three worlds, none but Shiva, greatest of gods, the Lord Nilakanta, whose throat is sable blue, can break my falling into the world. Bajo, with Tapasi again, the grace of the Lord Shiva, river of boons, he will bear my descent upon his head. He will sire and save your sires, O king. Maharaja Bhagirath went to Mount Kailasa and undertook another great penance, and after a long tapasya, he gained the grace of Lord Shiva, worker of blessings, protector of men, that king secured from Mahadeva a boon that the Ganga might fall safely upon his head and flow to the world. Anything to really read here? Is there any particular idea which worthiness we can talk about? I am certainly. Give me, give me a second. Yeah, I don't really see anything particular that might be interesting to analyze here. I believe there are more worthy things in other places, but not here, because this one we are not really dealing with anything quite so complex understanding. So yeah, we have to simply move on. I I don't feel like we can take out anything from this one canto. So yeah, let us simply progress to canto 109. So it goes like this. Tirthayatra Parva continued. Ramasa says, the blessed Shiva listened to Bhagirath's petition, and also, in order to fulfill the wishes of the dwellers in Swarga, said that us too. What the fuck? What? What is going on? Wait. What's going on with you? Why did you activate out of nowhere? I got fucking jump scared by that shit. What the fuck is going on? Uh, what was that, my brother? Oh man, I was fucking relaxed and it fucking scared the shit out of me. What's up with that? What's that antic? Oh man. Anyways, continuing. Uh, oh man. Sorry. Canto 109. Tirthayatra Parva continued. Masa says, the blessed Shiva listened to Bhagirath's petition. Also, in order to fulfill the wishes of the dwellers in Swarga, said, that us too, so be it, O Garden of Man, O mighty armed, For your sake, I will contain the descent of the pure and bless and divine river of heaven, O king. Saying this, the lords came to the snowy mountain, surrounded by his gunners, of awful men who bore uplifted weapons of diverse forms. Standing there, he said to Bagirata, most praiseworthy of men, Mahabahu, you pray to the river who is the daughter of the king of mountains. I will contain her when she falls down from Swarga. Reassured by Siva, Bagirata made obeisance with utmost devotion and directed his thoughts again towards Ganga. Seeing that Mahadeva stood to receive her fall, Ganga flashed down suddenly a pure crystal torrent from the sky, and the Devas, the Maharishis, the Gandharvas, the Nagas, and the Yakshas assembled there as witnesses. Down from the sky came the snow mountain, Himavan's daughter, her whalebones raged and she teemed with fish and sharks. O king, directing her course towards the sea, she separated herself into three streams, and her water was strewn with piles of frogs, which seemed like so many rows of white ganders, sinuous and twisting at times, at others stumbling, as it were, covered in foam as white a robe. She came down like a woman drunk. Elsewhere, by virtue of the roar of her waters, she gave vent to loud sounds, as, assuming many different aspects, when she fell from the sky, she reached the surface of the earth and said to Bhagirath, Great King, show me the path I must take, Lord of the earth. For your sake I have come down into the world. Bhagirath made a course towards where the dead souls of mighty Sagara lay, so that the sacred waters might drench their ashes. Having borne and contained the fall of Ganga, Shiva, saluted by all men, went back to Kailasa, best of mountains, accompanied by the Devas, while Ganga following him. Sorry, with Ganga following him, Bhagirath reached the sea, and the sea, the abode of Varuna, was quickly filled. The king adopted Ganga as his own daughter, and at that spot offered libations of water, Tarpana, to the maids of his ancestors. Thus was his heart's wish fulfilled. At your asking me, I have narrated the whole story of Gauganga, running in three streams, was brought down to the earth to fill the sea, how the mighty sage drained the sea for a particular reason, and how Batapi, a slayer of Brahmanas, was destroyed by Agastya. I believe, yeah, so far the story is understandable. We don't really need to ask that much more here. We can follow what is being told. I, I guess I don't really see something else to analyze here. I believe. Okay, one big stretch that I can make is something like, for your sake, I will contain the descent of the pure and blessed and divine river of heaven. O king, I believe it is quite interesting. Not of what is being said exactly, but rather because of the description of the river of heaven and of the need of containing it, as if it's, yeah, as if it was somehow not so, yeah, not ready for the world of the humans to contain it. So that is why it needs to be received by a god. That is why it had the necessity of being also used as a receiver for, as being used as the one who gave water once again, or gave yet again a sea to the whole human world, because it is such a blessed river that once again no normal human could do such a task. So, by having such a precious entity even now on Earth, they can fully restore what was lost before. I believe. I don't really get to see it like that completely, but yeah, continuing. I guess, or well, yeah. Before continuing, let me drink some water. I am already thirsty. I don't think I am going to stop being thirsty with drought in this state. Give me a second. I, it stopped hurting. I don't think. I I guess I have a notion as to why it happened like that. I don't. I don't really have an explanation as to why it stopped hurting so much. I okay. I wish it was because I stopped talking so much. I hope so, because if that is the reason, I can keep going. And if that's not the reason, I have no idea why it stopped hurting. But anyways, let me continue a little bit more. Tirta y atraparme continued. Bayana said, "Oh, Lord of the Maharatas, next, the son of Kunti goes leisurely to the two rivers Nanda and Aparananda, which have the virtue of destroying the dread of sin. Reaching a great mountain, Kemakuta, he sees many strange and inconceivable sights there. When their party merely speaks among themselves, clouds rumble into the sky and 1,000 volleys of stones fall, so they cannot claim the mountain. Here, the winds flow incessantly, and the heavens forever lash down rain. They also hear the chanting of the Veda, yet they see nobody. In the evening and in the morning, they see the blessed fire that carries offerings to the gods, and their sharp insects sting them to interrupt their tapasya. An unaccountable sadness overtakes the soul, and men fall sick. Seeing all these uncanny phenomena, Yudhishthira asks Lomasa what they are and what causes them. Lomasa says, Parantapa, I will tell you about this as we heard it of old. Listen carefully to what I say. Upon this peak of Rishabha, there was once a rishi of that name, who lived for hundreds of years. He was devoted to penance and was also wrathful. When some men came and spoke to him, interrupting his dhyana, he said in anger to the mountain, "If any man speaks in this place, cast stones at him and summon the winds to prevent him from making any sound." This was, this was what the sage said, and so, this place, as soon as a man utters any words, he is forbidden by a roaring cloud. Rahan, in anger, he also forbade other deeds in this place, that Maharishi. Yudhishthira, tradition has it that, when of old, the devas came to Tananda, suddenly a number of men arrived there to look at the gods. However, the devas, at whose head Indra stood, did not want to be seen, and so they rendered this place inaccessible by raising obstructions in the form of mountains. From that day, O Kaunteya, men could not cast their eyes at any time upon what looked like this mountain, far less climb it. No one who has not led an austere life can see this mountain or ascend it. Therefore, O sons of Kunti, keep your tongue under control. Here, at that time, all those gods performed the most sacred yagnas. O Maharaja, Even to this day, the marks of those sacrifices can be seen. This grass here has the form of the sacred kusa grass. The ground here seems to be covered by the sacred grass, and a whole lot of men. So many of these trees here look as if they are ideal for signing up. Yagnapasus, O Mahabharata. The devas and the rishis still dwell here, and one can see their sacred Agni burning in the morning and in the evening. If one bathes here, one's sins are immediately destroyed, counting, yeah? So, rest of the gurus, you and your younger brothers perform your ablutions here. We waited in the Nanda in this journey to the river Kausiki, to the place where Viswamitra performed his great tapasya. Yudhishthira another her with him, bathe into the river, and then go on to the Kausiki, crystalline, her water cool and delightful. Ramasa says, this is the pure and divine Kausiki, Lord of the Maharajas. Here is the enchanting Asarama Viswari of Swamitra. And there is the hermitage of the mighty soul Kasyapa, whose son was Rishyas Aringa, devoted to tapasya, his passions under control. Through the rigors of his penance, he forced Indra to pour down his rain during a drought. For the Deva, slayer of Bala and Britra, was in dread of Rishyas Ringa's penance. That powerful son of Kasyapa was born of a Hind. He worked a great marvel in the kingdom of Lomapada, and when the rains brought forth crops in his land, Lomapada gave his daughter Shanta in marriage to Rishyasringa, even as the son gave away his daughter Savitri. Yudhishthira says, who was Kasyapa's son, Rishyasringa, born of a Hind, and who was he endowed with such holiness, being the offspring of a sinful sexual union? Why did Indra fear this rishi? So he brought down his reign during a time of drought. Tell us about the beauty of the Princess Shanta, pure in life. She who captivated our sorry, she who captivated his heart when he had turned himself into a stag. And Sister Harishi Lumabada was as virtuous as he is known to have been. Why was it that over his lands, Indra, the gods of Paga, which held rain, most holy one, for I want to know where. I, sorry, most holy one, I beg you, really tell this to me in detail, exactly as it happened, for I want to know everything about Resias Ringa's life. Lomasa says, listen to how Resias Ringa, of dreaded name, was born as the son of Kasyapa Muni's son, Bihukandaka, a Brahmana rishi who had evolved through tapasya of unfailing seed, was large and bright like the Lord of Beings, and the father was honored. The son was possessed of a mighty spirit, and though a boy, he was respected by all men. Bibhandaka went to a great lake and devoted himself to the practice of austerities. He who was like a deva performed a long penance. One day, while he was washing his mouth in the water, he saw the Apsara Urvasi, at which he ejaculated his seed. Rahan, a hind, was drinking from the lake, and she lapped up his seed, floating on the water, and at once she became pregnant. That hind was, in fact, a Devaputri. Brahma had once told her, you will be a hind, and while you have that form, you will give birth to a rishi. Then you will be free. As fate will have it, and as the word of the Creator can never prove untrue, that female deer bore Biphendaka's son, a mighty sage, Rishyas Ringa. Rishyas Ringa, devoted to Tapasya, always passed his days in the forest, and there was a horn on his head, and for this he came to be known as Rishyas Ringa. Apart from his father, he had never seen any other man, and so his life was entirely absorbed in brahmacharya. During this same time, there was a king of the land of Anka, known as Lomabada, who was a friend of Sarata. We have heard that, from his love of pleasure, he had been guilty of telling a lie to Brahmana, and for that, Lomabada was sued by all men of the priestly Varna, and he had no priest to perform his religious rites. And Indra, of 1,000 eyes, abruptly withdrew the reins from his kingdom, and his people suffered. He asked a number of Brahmanas devoted to austerities, of cultivated minds, who will the heavens send us rain? Think of some expedient. Each of them gave their view, and among them the best said to the king, King of kings, the Brahmanas are angry with you, so you must do something to appease them. Stand for Risyasaringa, the moon's son, who lives in the forest and knows nothing of woman, who is the epitome of simplicity. O king, if he whose tapasya is so great shows himself in your kingdom, I have no doubt the rain will also come. Lomabada made atonement for his sins, and he went away. When the Brahmanas had been pacified, he returned, and his people were glad. The king of Anga convened a meeting of his ministers, men who were expert at giving counsel, and he sought their counsel and discipline, to which Rishyasringa into his lands. Give me a second. Okay, sorry. Continuing. Finally, the advice of those members in all branches of knowledge, very proficient in worldly matters, he settled on a plan. He sent for a number of courtesans, women of the town, all clever. They came. Mahabharata said to them, lovely ones, you must find a way to entice Rishia's Ringa to my kingdom. Those women, on the one hand afraid of the king's wrath, and on the other dreading a curse from the Rishi, were alarmed, declared the business to be beyond their power. However, one among them, a seasoned and forward woman, said to the king, Maharajan, I will try to fetch him whose wealth consists solely of tapasya into your lands. However, there are some things I will need to put my plan into action. If you can give me this, I might be able to bring this Yazaringa here. The king gave an order that all that she might ask for should be procured. He also gave her a good deal of wealth and jewels of various kinds. Then the earth, taking a number of young, beautiful women with her, she went to the forest. Uh, I, I mean, this one is pretty understandable. I need a second. Then, yeah, it is finally happening. I'm finally kind of losing my voice even here that I'm trying to speak not so loudly. So I'm sorry, but I can't keep doing this today. I will have to keep. I guess I I don't really I don't really mean to give up. I must. The reality is I can't keep up with so much distraction to my own vocal cords. Sadly, so I will have to say that this is certain. But yeah, thanks for here. Even if we didn't get to read that much, we did a good one. As always. Or sorry, as always. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for watching the world. Everything. See each other next time. I guess, yeah, it will take me some time to come back. But until then, please keep yourself safe. Thanks for everything. Have a good one. Rest. Hydrate. Everything that you need to do, do it, please. Yeah. Goodbye.